Imagine buying a house in Austin, Texas in 2010 for $180,000. That same house today, just under $1 million. $800,000 in unrealized regret if you were 3 years late to the party. Now imagine being able to do that again, right now, in 2026. Because there are towns across America, actual towns, with mayors and post offices and Dollar Generals that are about to do exactly what Austin did. The signs are all there, the remote workers are sniffing around, the Whole Food Scouts are circling, the Zillow searches are spiking. I dug through real estate data, migration patterns, tech corridor reports, and a worrying number of subreddits to put this together. These are 10 towns that nobody's talking about yet, but will be by 2028. Stick around for number 1. I almost bought a house there last month. 10. Greenville, South Carolina. Okay, Greenville is technically already cooking, but it's still flying under the national radar. Downtown went from sleepy textile town to food and cocktail destination people fly in for in about 8 years. The Reedy River runs straight through the city center, with a gorgeous park and a pedestrian bridge that looks like a sculpture. BMN, NW, Michelin, and Lockheed all have huge operations nearby. A regional airport that punches above its weight. Home prices that are still, for now, about 30% below comparable southern cities. Greenville's not a secret anymore, but it's still cheaper than Asheville and Charleston combined. 9. Bentonville, Arkansas. Yes, Arkansas. I see your face. Hear me out. Bentonville is the global headquarters of Walmart. That alone made it interesting. Then the Walton family started spending obscene amounts of money turning the town into a cultural and outdoor recreation destination. World-class art museum Frottrell Bridges, built by Alice Walton, free admission, designed by Moshe Safdie. 130 plus miles of mountain biking trails. A booming food scene fueled by all the corporate transplants. Population 60,000 and growing fast. Bentonville is in the early innings of a 20-year transformation, and the people who bought property there in 2018 are quietly very rich now. 8. Chattanooga, Tennessee. Chattanooga has fiber optic internet faster than San Francisco. I'm not joking, it has municipal gigabit internet that put the city on the tech map. Remote workers and small startups have been quietly moving there for a decade. Add to that a stunning downtown along the Tennessee River, an aggressively walkable city center, real bike infrastructure, mountains in every direction, and a cost of living that's still below the national average. Chattanooga is doing what Asheville did 20 years ago, except with better Wi-Fi. 7. Casper, Wyoming. Wyoming has no state income tax, none, which is increasingly the only thing high earners want to hear. Energy money has been flowing through Casper for decades, and recently the city has been investing it in revitalizing downtown, building outdoor amenities, and trying to attract remote workers. Home prices are absurdly low for what you get. If Wyoming continues its no income tax pitch to remote tech workers, Casper is the city most likely to break out. 6. Kingsport, Tennessee. Kingsport is in the Tri-Cities region of East Tennessee, Bristol, Johnson City, Kingsport, and it's the one nobody talks about. Sitting in the Appalachian foothills with the Holston River, the Smokies an hour away, and a downtown that's quietly being reborn. Eastman Chemical is headquartered there, so there's serious employment. But what's interesting is the influx of retirees and remote workers from Atlanta, Charlotte, and DC who realized they could buy a 4-bedroom craftsman home for under $300,000. The migration is small now. It won't be by 2028. 5. Idaho Falls, Idaho. Boise is full, Coeur d'Alene is full. The next stop on the Idaho Boom Train is Idaho Falls, population 65,000, sitting on the Snake River an hour from Jackson Hole and within striking distance of Yellowstone. The Idaho National Laboratory provides serious tech and engineering jobs. The downtown has a beautiful greenbelt along the river. Home prices are roughly 40% below Boise's. The same Californians and Coloradans who price themselves out of Boise are starting to look here. The Zillow data is unmistakable. 4. Fayetteville, Arkansas. Fayetteville is the second Arkansas town on this list because Northwest Arkansas as a region is the most undervalued booming area in America right now. Home to the University of Arkansas, surrounded by Ozark Hills with a music and food scene that's been quietly building for a decade. Tyson Foods is nearby. J.B. Hunt is nearby. Walmart is nearby. That's 3 Fortune 500 anchors within a 30-mile radius. Add great hiking, low taxes, and a young university energy, and Fayetteville is the kind of town that's going to make a lot of people kick themselves in 5 years for not buying in 2026. 3. Duluth, Minnesota. This is the climate change pick. Duluth sits on the western tip of Lake Superior, a body of fresh water so massive it has its own weather system. As the South gets hotter and water stressed, demographers have been quietly identifying Duluth as one of the future destinations for climate migrants. It's already a beautiful city, historic downtown, gorgeous lakefront, surrounded by forests. Property is cheap, the cost of living is well below average. Yes, the winters are brutal, but the summers are stunning, and as the rest of the country bakes, Duluth's whole pitch becomes increasingly compelling. Watch this one, seriously. 2. Roanoke, Virginia. Tucked in the Blue Ridge Mountains, Roanoke has been quietly transforming itself from a sleepy railroad town into a healthcare and biotech hub. Carilion Clinic and Virginia Tech's Medical Research Center have anchored a serious life sciences corridor. Downtown Roanoke has been revived block by block, restaurants, galleries, the Taubman Museum, the City Market. The Appalachian Trail runs basically through the backyard. Home prices are still well below national average. Roanoke is the kind of place where you can buy a beautiful historic home for under $400,000, walk to coffee, and hike a 4,000-foot mountain on the weekend. That combination is rare. It won't stay this cheap. 1. Redmond, Oregon. Forget Bend. Bend already happened. Bend prices are stupid now. The next move in Central Oregon is Redmond, population 38,000, sitting 15 minutes north of Bend with the same desert meets mountains geography and a fraction of the price tag. Redmond has its own airport. It has direct flights to major West Coast cities. It has the same 300 days of sun climate as Bend, the same Cascade Mountains on the horizon, and the same access to the Deschutes River. What it doesn't have yet is the $900,000 starter homes. Every single trend that turned Bend into a boomtown is now showing up in Redmond. Remote workers from Seattle and Portland have started buying. Breweries are opening. The downtown is getting prettier every year. If you want to know what the next Bend is, the answer is it's already happening 15 miles up the road. And it's called Redmond. I almost bought a house there last month. I'm still mad I didn't. 10 towns. 10 different bets. All of them backed by real migration data, real corporate investment, or real climate-driven demographics. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these would you actually move to? Or more importantly, is your town on a list like this and you're now nervously checking Zillow? Drop a comment, I'm reading them all. And hit subscribe, because next week I'm doing the exact opposite of this video, the worst states to retire in 2026, and some of these answers are going to genuinely shock you. See you in the next one.